Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today is mine, and I think most people's favourite video of the month, my October 2024 Completed Pages video. This was a very successful month for me, which you'll see. But first, for this video, I want to introduce you to someone. Here we have it. This is an adorable little Shiba Inu dressed as a bumblebee plush that Zoe got for me when she came to my house for the first time. It arrived while we were colouring together, and I was so surprised because I got a Amazon delivery and I was like, well, I haven't ordered anything. I turned around and she was smiling at me and I was like, was it from you? And inside was this adorable guy. I've called him Shiba Inu instead of Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu. But I do feel like he needs a name. If you have any name ideas, let me know in the comments. He's quite a big plush, barely fits on frame here, but he is just so adorable, has some wings on the back of his head, and this adorable little bee pouch. I love him so much, and he sits on my bookshelf, keeping an eye on my colouring books, making sure no one takes them. So thank you, Zoe, for getting this for me. I absolutely love him. Right, now we will move on to my colouring stats. So here is my colouring journal for 2024. And I will zoom you in ever so slightly so you can have a better view of this. There we go. So for the month of October, I coloured a whopping 44 pages. That is the most I think I've ever coloured in one month. And only 6 of them were colour by number pages. But the reason this total is so large is because of the 14 Lonely Pumpkin pages I coloured as a series on the channel here for YouTube Shorts. I did upload a compilation video on the 31st of October. If you didn't check that out, please go on my channel. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. It was a lot of fun, but a lot of work making these Lonely Pumpkin videos. But I'm so happy to have 14 pages done. 2 of these pages, 2 of the totals, well, no, how am I describing this? 2 were double page spreads, which I haven't coloured a double page spread in ages. When was the last time I coloured one? Because I know I didn't do any in September, didn't do any in August. Did I do any in July? Oh, I did one in July. What was the one I did in July? It was the Spirit Animals double page spread, the last one I did. So it's been a few months since my last double page spread, and I did 2 this month. I also completed 4 long-term whips, so really happy to have 4 of those done now. I did 19 individual buddy colours, which again is a record number for me. I was in a great colouring mood this month. And I actually also managed to get some group buddy colours done. I did 3 of those, including my own Mini Mania group buddy colour. So happy to finally have another few of those done, because I've been behind on those recently. I coloured in 26 different books this past month. I only purchased the 1 book. I wanted to reduce my spending this month because I'd got a lot the previous 2 months, so I thought I'll reduce down. I do have another few books on their way, but they will be in November's wrap-up. And I got 2 as Happy Mail. Again, thank you so much to Zoe. 1 book she didn't want, it was a Colouring Heaven, and she said I could have it, and then the other one she got for me on the same day as the Shiba Inu. So thank you, Zoe. Love you so much. That means the total books in my collection is now 175. This last month I untouched 5 previously untouched books. That means that my remaining untouched books percentage is 30.2%, and I've got 53 untouched books remaining. I really want to get this down to under 25 by the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen because I'm getting more books and I'm able to colour them, but having it under 30% would be lovely as well. I have coloured in 274 pages so far in 2024. Looks like I'll be reaching 300 before the end of the year, which is really exciting. And I started quite a few whips. And I also went through and counted how many pumpkins. 79, which is crazy considering last year I did, I think it was 74 in total. Last month I did 9. This month I did 79, so I pretty much doubled my pumpkin total. So Meg, if you're watching, so many pumpkins this last month. Partly thanks to all the lonely pumpkin pages, as each of her heads count as a pumpkin. But let's go open to my information of colouring and go straight into showing you the pages. Okay, the first book I have to show you is Matchstick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book. This is a group project book with a few ladies over on Instagram. It's with Geordie Colours, Colouring with Amy, and Knick Knack Colours. And I believe this was Amy's pick this month. And she picked this nighttime Paris scene. And I'd been a bit behind and always the last one to complete the pages the last few months, so I thought I'm going to be the first one this month. This is one of the first pages I completed on the 5th of October. I used Ohuhu alcohol markers as a base, and I coloured and shaded over the top with Prismacolor pencils. I wanted some kind of dark jewel tones. It is quite a dark page, and I don't know, you've kind of lost some of the details in the blanket. But I like the idea of having this sort of fuchsia pink curtain. I wanted this blended night sky gradient. I love how the clouds look. And some silver glitter gel pen stars in the background for a bit of sparkle and shine. And a few white pen highlight details. I'll move mine to the side and show you everyone's here. Everyone did such an amazing job as usual. And I will show you the next page we have picked out. It was my turn to pick the page for this month, and I thought we've just had Spooky Month, and November 1st is Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, so I thought we could do this one. And I can't wait to see what everyone does with it. I think it will lend itself to lots of bright, fun colours. I might look up colour palettes inspired by Coco, because I love that film, the Pixar film, and use some of those fun colours as inspiration. So that's Matchstick Mouse, A Big Adventure by Morgan O'Brien. Then I have Spooky Fuzzy. This is a cute and cosy colouring book by Vivi Tinter. They are one of my favourite artists for this cute and cosy series. I've got, I think, all of their books so far. And the page I coloured was this Witch Hat Teapot House. I wasn't sure what name to give the page, and I was like, it's a witch hat, it's a house, it's a teapot, it's a cauldron. But this was a buddy colour with Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. And we picked this page out. I'm really sad I only managed to get one page done in this book. I wanted to get some more done because it is Halloween themed. Perfect for the month of October, but I just didn't get the time. But I'm glad to have had at least one done. And I have pages flagged here that I wanted to colour for Zoe and Dee's Facebook group. They do weekly prompts, and they did a lot of Halloween themed ones that I didn't get round to. This does go for the prompt Cauldron and also Pumpkin from their Facebook group. I coloured this with mostly the Touch Art alcohol markers and just did some simple outline shading. I love these books. I love just the simple yet effective way of this sort of bold block colouring, and it's just a lot of fun. I will move mine across and show you Zoe's here. I love how hers turned out as well, and it's always fun colouring in these books, and she definitely helps inspire and encourage me to colour in these more often. And I just realised I'm pretty sure I didn't count this for my how many pumpkins total, so that means I've coloured 80 pumpkins this month. I will make sure to change that on my journal at the end. That is Spooky Fuzzy by Vivi Tinter. Next I've got Around the World, a Mr. Fogarty colouring book by R.J. Hampson. This is a project book with the lovely Catherine from Cath Colours Pages over on Instagram. And I had to do a bit of catch up. So we've done the first page. Last month we did the Bare Essentials page. And I finally caught up and finished the Reform Club page. I was stuck on this one for a long time. I based it with the Touch Art alcohol markers. And I just did little bits at a time. And I was really kind of stuck on colour choices. And just one day I decided, you know what, I'm going to finish it, I'm going to do it, it's going to be done, and I love how it turned out. I wanted each of the guys to have different coloured outfits to make it interesting. There's a bit of Prismacolor sort of pencil marks there. Often if you just rub it with your finger, they go away. But it's just with my overhead lights and from this angle I can see the pencil marks there. That looks better. I shaded over the top of the alcohol markers with the Prismacolor pencils, and I added a bit of gold gel pen detail to their monocles and glasses and buckles, a bit on the duck picture frame. I really loved colouring this duck, that was really fun. But yeah, I kept it simple with the sort of same wood tones, a little bit of shading, and I really like how it turned out. And now I've got 3 pages done in this book. This was meant to be the page for October, and I never got around to it. I will be colouring this in October, and I also want to be colouring the Paris page as Catherine's already finished hers, and I need to start catching up a little bit. But this last month I went through with my alcohol marker and based all of the Mr. Fogarty's throughout the book, just so I know that my colours are cohesive. The alcohol marker won't run out on me, because that was my fear before I get to the end of the book. But I'm going to move on across and show you Catherine's lovely page here. She also went for this sort of dark green accent on the wall. I don't know, it just worked really well for this page in my opinion. Loved colouring it with her, and look forward to colouring the next page. I will see you on the train station, Catherine. That is R.J. Hampson's Round the World, a Mr. Fogarty colouring book. Then I coloured a page in Journey Through Fairy Tales with my little friends from the forest. This is by Sayuri Kobayashi, and this has been an untouched book for so many months now. I got it last year, I think, and it's actually one of my favourites from this Tokimeku colouring book series. But for some reason, I would plan to colour in it, and I just never got round to it. So when I showed this in my Untouched Books video, someone reached out to me. It was the lovely, I want to get the name right, Christy from Colouring with Christy over on Instagram. She reached out and we picked a page. And the page we picked was Pulling the Giant or the Enormous Turnip. I really had a lot of fun colouring this page. I used a combination of Prismacolors for the turnip, the leaves, the dirt and the background, and polychromos for the characters themselves. I really enjoyed colouring this page. I enjoyed coming up with the colour combinations for the characters, and as I was colouring this, I moved to the back of the book where you have the character profile page, saved all the colours for them there, and all I need to do now is colour their outfits and some of the little details around the page, and that will be this one done. And I've also saved the colours for here because I want to bring them across over onto this page. But yeah, here it's a finished page. I used a bit of a copper metallic gel pen from Uniball Signo. It's not looking too metallic. I don't know if I maybe applied it too thick, the layer, but it's a nice fun pop of colour anyway, and you sort of see a bit of silver shine through it. But I'll move back across and show you Christy's here. She used a beautiful bright bold colour scheme. I love how it turned out, and thank you for helping me get started in this book. I would love to colour this page soon. That is Journey Through I can't speak today. Journey Through Fairy Tales with My Little Friends from the Forest by Sayuri Kobayashi. finally had my first page coloured in this untouched book. Then I did one in Colouring Heaven Pocket Fairy Tales. These are illustrations by Selena Fennick. I believe you can get a A4 size book version of this book over on Amazon, but I really like this smaller pocket size version. And the page I coloured was this one of Alice in Wonderland. And this is a new project book with my lovely friend Lil from Pole's Colouring. She asked to do a buddy colour in this and then said, do you want to make it a project book? And I've just recently dropped one, so I was able to fit this in, and they are quick and easy pages to colour. I made a promise to myself a few months back that I wouldn't take on any more project books, but I did have a space clear up, and because of the easy nature of this, I decided, yes, let's do this as a project book. So we did Alice in Wonderland for October, and I used Ohuhu and touch art markers. Actually, no, just Ohuhu markers on this one. Yeah, mainly the pastels, and then I brought in a red. And I shaded over the top with Prismacolor pencils. This grass background was very confusing because it has this jaggedy edge and it looks like it should be leaves coming up. Then it also goes around, and it was a weird border, so I decided to create the sort of depth of, we've got the grass at the front here and then grass behind it. I tried my best. I'm going to move mine across and show you Lil's here. I absolutely love how hers turned out, and I really look forward to colouring more pages in here. I have coloured two before. I've done the Puss in Boots page and the Red Riding Hood page, and the one we are doing next month, oh gosh, can I remember what we're doing next month? So I sent a few options to pick from. Was it Snow White? Are we doing Snow? I'm pretty sure it's Snow White, because I think it was between Snow White and Rapunzel, and she said she'd already coloured Rapunzel, so I will need to colour that as a catch-up at some point. I don't think it will be before the end of this year, but I've got plenty of time. So that is the Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition Fairy Tales, illustrated by Selena Fennick. Next, I have another previously untouched book. This is the Waltzes for the Seasons postcard book by Kanoko Igusa. I believe you can only get this from Amazon Japan, whereas her square books you can get from your local Amazon. And the page I did was this one. And I really wanted to colour this for Halloween, and I was watching Geordie Colours' October Plans video, and she talked about colouring this page as well, and so I reached out to her and said, I know you said no more buddy colours, but if you colour this, I also want to colour this. If I start it, I'll let you know. And we ended up doing it as a buddy colour together. I coloured the pumpkin first. I just love colouring pumpkins, and I haven't got sick of them yet. I remember this time last year I was getting a bit sick of colouring orange pumpkins, but I'm still really enjoying colouring them. I did the pumpkin first, and then I did the mice. I knew I wanted them to have purple capes. And then when it came to the sweets and the lollipops, I was initially planning on doing a rainbow colour scheme. But then as I was looking at it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep it simple, I'm going to keep it limited. I'm going to go purple, orange, black, and a bit of this sort of gold foil colour. And I'm really glad I did keep it limited. It looks really nice. I used a black acrylic paint in the background and added some shooting stars because I just thought that was really fun. So I will move mine to the side to show you Geordie's here. She also did a black background. I think she had a bit of a disaster with her background and she wasn't sure what to do, so I gave the advice of, if in doubt, black it out, and I think she was really happy with the result. And I already knew when I first started the page I wanted to use black for the background. It was quite fiddly going around all these details of the paintbrush, but definitely worth it. And I'm so glad to have got a page done in this book, and it didn't take long because it's a really small size. Will I get another one done before the autumn season's over? Probably not. I've got a lot of plans so far, but There's some gorgeous Christmas pages that I think I might have to do one of these. So that is Waltzes for the Seasons postcard book by Kanoko Igusa. Next, I've got 50 Spellbound Woodland Scenes to colour by Camilla Angel Cova. And this page I coloured for Dee at Colourful Dreamers. She's doing a prompt, not a prompt, a page, a colour along. She picks a page from this book every month. I think this is the third page she's picked so far. This was the first page she picked that I coloured in September. I didn't get around to doing September's page yet, but I really loved this page for October. And when I first saw it, I thought, I want greens, and specifically dark greens, and that more kind of emerald tone green rather than a yellow tone green. And I really enjoyed colouring this. I sort of coloured a little bit at a time. I started with the mushrooms because I knew I wanted them to have dark green tops. Did a bit of the grass, then I did the leaves and the potions. I think I left the tree trunks and the witch herself to last because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do there. I wasn't sure whether to do the tree trunks a very dark green. I thought that wouldn't stand out against the mushrooms though. Then I wanted a dark brown, and I thought there's no more brown on this page and it would just look odd. I like the cool tones, and adding a brown would add a warm tone to the page. So I decided to go for a dark grey, and I really am happy about that decision. I had lots of white paint pen details and added glitter gel pen on the bubbles here, on the bits of the potions, around these little ghosty creatures. I really enjoyed colouring this one. And then I think the last thing I coloured was the witch's hair. When I first saw her, I pictured her as blonde, but then I wasn't sure if it would stand out against everything else. But I thought, no, I'm going to do it blonde. And I kind of like how she stands out against everything else, because I think if I did it green, she'd blend in too much. So really enjoyed colouring that one, and I can't wait to see what page Dee picks next from this book. Really been enjoying colouring in it. There's so many just fun, quirky pages to colour in here. There we go, so that's 50 Spellbound Woodland Scenes by Camilla Angel Cova. Next I have Boule de Poire. Now this was one of my long-term whips from last year. I started during the autumn season before I went into a bit of a colouring slump, and I never picked it up again because it became winter by the time I started colouring. And it was this Hedgehogs page. So I based this all with Tombow Jewel brush pens, and I had done some shading on the hedgehogs and the acorns, and that was it. That was all I had done so far for this page. So this past month I did the pencil shading for the leaves and the brown background. And it was a bit of a trust the process kind of page. When I first started shading, it looked a bit odd. I wasn't sure, but I actually really loved the finished result. I had lots of white paint pen to make the hedgehog spines stand out, to highlight the edges of the leaves. I do really like this one. This was a page that was picked by my randomizer for September, which is what prompted me to colour it. And I hadn't coloured in this book for a few months. Lavella and Colourful Diary, Sandra, they are hosting a colour along hashtag. They did this page. And I think I coloured one other, yeah, this one, Golden Retriever, with the metallic watercolour background. And they've done quite a few other pages that I skipped, I missed, never got round to doing. I was itching to come back to this book, and the randomizer picked one. What's the page they're doing? I think it's the little sleeping ferret guy, this one. Might get round to that, we'll see. Like this in my journal if I do feel like it. I kind of like this page more though. I just love the scene and the composition of the image. Look at that little owl guy. But there we go, that's a page coloured in Boule de Poire. Hadn't coloured in this for quite a few months now, so happy to have coloured this and finish a long-term whip. Boule de Poire by Diane Dufour. Then I have Cat's Autumn Picnic colouring book by Jeon Seon Jin. This is a Korean colouring book. I got this from Aladdin. the colouring book store, and this was a buddy colour I had set up a couple of months ago. It took me a long time to complete, and it was this page, Zinnia, and this was a buddy colour with Mindy at Colouring with Cats Amongst Orchids. I think that's the name of her Instagram. I do apologise if it's wrong, but it's something along those lines. And I really wanted to try and replicate what I saw on this page, but I thought going in with pencil straight away would be a bit intimidating, so I based it all with Tombow and Crayola Super Tips. And after I based it, I wasn't sure on some of the colours. They didn't have much definition. It was all just flats. I think some of them were a bit too dark, like this pink you saw here compared to this one. And it demotivated me. And I would colour a little bit every now and then. I think before this month I got to the point where the mushrooms were shaded, the leaves were shaded, but I hadn't started on any of the flowers or the cats or these berries yet. And so that's what I finished off this last month. And I'm so happy to have it finally done. I actually really like the result. I like how you can see that I've copied the colours from this page, but it's not absolutely exact. The background colour, I really struggled to have the right tone of pencil because it's this creamy yellow-orange, very pale. So I just went for a light yellow to help back the image. I'll move mine across and show you Mindy's here. Love what she did with the page. She put her own spin on it and didn't replicate the image, so we have two quite differing pages. And I was actually inspired to colour this after the randomizer wheel picked it for November, and I thought, I need to finish this month. I'm going to do it. So I did. So then I can colour either this page or this page for November. Not sure which yet, but I'm really itching to colour this book again, so I might start that today after this video. So that is Cat's Autumn Picnic colouring book by Jeon Seon Jin. Okay, another book that I had a whip in for quite some time, that I have been working on for the past several months, is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanes. If you didn't know, Candice from Happy Catastrophe is hosting a group buddy colour chat group. This is an amazing group of people. It's a very free, it's a very chill, calm, supportive group where you work through this book, going through each of the planets at your own pace. If you want to skip pages, you skip pages. If you want to jump across different planets, you can do that. But the idea was to colour it in order. So I did start with the title page. So I did that, and I used all Inktense pencils and glitter gel pens on this. And I liked it so much that I want to keep this book as an Inktense only book to really challenge myself. And the page I'd been working on for a while was this, The Lost Paradise. I have my Inktense colours saved here because I want to keep the same colour palette for the rest of the pages. But here it is. Up until this month, I had done the Inktense for the green grass areas, the tree trunks, and the blue-grey rock work. That was it. And then everything else I did this month. And it took a long time, but I really do love it. I wanted to keep it somewhat natural looking, but really bright alien kind of colours. I added my ship name to the spaceship, the SS Busby, on this little plate here. And I thought it would be fun to have a silver ship with yellow and black accents. I'd love to add some black glaze pen to this when I finally get one. Still need to get some glaze pens because there's a lot of things I colour and I'm like, oh, this would look great with a black glaze pen. But I just haven't got around to getting it yet. Kept the astronaut simple with a grey toned white suit. I decided to have the colour scheme of this palette be pink, yellow and a teal blue. I just think those colours look really pretty together. It's one of my favourite colour combos, pink, yellow and blue. And I just kept them really bright for this alien world at the Lost Paradise planet. I brought some of the same colours in for these creatures to make them blend in with their surroundings. The solar giant is bright yellow and makes it pop. It's the colour of the sun. I thought that was a fun idea. And I added some glitter gel pen all over on different dots on the page. I want to add lots of glitter to this book, but not lots, but a nice amount. And I put the Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen over the asteroid belt, and this has now given me an idea of how I want to tackle this page. I want to use the pinks and the blues and the yellows for the rocks and add the sparkle over the top, maybe use some iridescent watercolour, something like that, and have a black background to really make it pop out. So that's my idea for that one, but so happy to finally have this page done. And now I can get working on some of the creatures from this planet. My goal was to have the Lost Paradise section completed by the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen because that would mean doing 6 more pages, but it would be nice to get something else done. But we'll see. It's something that I just slowly chip away at every now and then. And as I said, the group is so lovely. There's no pressure to complete it by any sort of date or time. It's go at your own pace. So thank you, Candice, for creating this book. Not for creating this book. Thank you, Kirby, for creating this book. Candice did not create this book. She created this group about this book and encouraged us all to colour through it together. So that is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanis. So after the Alien Worlds mammoth double page spread, I needed something a bit simpler, a bit cuter, a bit cosier. So I did a page in Cottage Friends, cute and cozy colouring book. This one is by Jeanette Veronica. I think out of all the ones I have, this is my favourite. And I'm thinking of making it a book to complete for next year, because I just think it would be nice to have one complete. But the page I did was the pumpkin patch page, and you can see this one has a lot of pumpkins on. So this definitely helped towards my how many pumpkins total for October. And this was a buddy colour with Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. We both really loved this page, and I think we talked about doing it, and she was like, did we actually decide doing it, or were we just talking about it? And I was like, I'll do it. If you want to do it, I will definitely colour it, because it's a good sort of palette cleanser between some of those more detailed pages. I used Touch Art alcohol markers for this, and just did some simple shading with a darker shade of marker. Love how it turned out. I used a variety of different shades of orange for the pumpkins. This one looks very red on camera, but it's more of like a dark orange. It definitely looks more orange toned in real life than it does on camera, but that's okay. I'll move mine across and show you Zoe's here. I love what she did with the pumpkins. She really took her time and added some fun spots and shading and colours and whatnot to make them look a bit different. I really enjoyed colouring in this. Need to get another page done. The one I want to do next is the Mushroom Forest one. I love this page. I think it's so cute. That's Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. Next, I've got Year of Witches by Usiku. This is a project book with Zoe's Cozy Colouring. We do quite a few buddy colours in a month. We talk about doing pages and we get all excited and we plan about 20 different things and narrow down the list each month to the ones that we really want to do. But this is a guarantee each month, as we are wanting to complete this book together. For October, we had to pick the Pumpkin Parade page. And again, a lot of pumpkins on this one to add towards the how many pumpkins total for Meg's hashtag. I coloured this with Ohuhu alcohol markers and shaded over the top with polychromos pencils, as I have done for all the pages in this book so far. Added lots of white paint pen highlights, a bit of gold here on their capes, and I wasn't sure whether to do the stars and the moon silver or gold, because with this blue background I either look lovely next to the contrast with the blue. And I asked Zoe, what should I do? And she goes, you should do it gold to match with the capes. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I coloured those gold. Completely forgot that. So I used the gold glitter gel pen by Pentel, because I just love it. It has so much glitter in it and it's so shiny and pretty compared to the other sort of gold metallic gel pen that I tend to use. At the time of recording, I don't think Zoe had completed her page yet, but I will move mine across. If she sends me a work in progress picture, I'll pop it here. I really love the colour scheme that she's used though so far. She's got like nice, beautiful light pinks and greens. I think she used similar colours from this page and transferred them over onto this one, which was really fun. And I will show you the next page we have planned. It's the Reading Tea Leaves one with the cute little kitty cat. So I'm really looking forward to colouring that one for November. That is Year of Witches by Usiku. Then I have my group buddy colour book. This is one that I host, #CompleteMiniMania over on Instagram. And I hadn't coloured in this book for a while. When was the last page I coloured? It was this one, the Carrot Garden, and that was May. I've got page flags that I've added for all the ones that I need to catch up with. As I realised this month that, counting through, we have exactly 14 pages left to colour. So if you colour with me every month or colour with this hashtag every month, then by the end of 2025 you will have a complete book. That is not including the intro pages. You can do those at your own pace, but in terms of the colour pages proper, you will have a complete book by the end of 2025, which is really exciting. This was the page that was picked for November. I always put out 3 options over on Instagram, get you to vote, and the winning page is the one we colour. I love this little wagon ride page. I based it with Touch Art alcohol markers, and I shaded over the top with the Arteza Expert pencils because I hadn't used those ones in quite a while, so I thought let's bring them out again. And they had some really pretty dark olive green tones because I didn't have an olive green marker, so that is all penciled up. But I like the texture it gives, especially because it's a grassy background, so I just coloured up and down to give this sort of vertical grass kind of motion to it. Added lots of white paint pen highlights to make it really pop and stand out. I really enjoyed using the variety of orange and yellow and brown tones for this. And these 2 little guys are just so adorable. So I'm so happy to finally have another Mini Mania page done. Maybe I'll get 2 done next month, we'll see. But the page picked for November was this one. Actually, the first time ever there was a tie on the poll. This page and what was the other page? It was this one, the kitchen page. They got the exact same number of votes on Instagram, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick, and I want to pick this one. I will probably put this for the poll for December, and if it wins out then, we'll do that next month. But this is the one we are doing for November, or the mushrooms. Can't wait to see everyone's finished page of this. I think there's going to be a variety of rainbow colours. Really looking forward to it. And I've already got an idea of how I want to colour it too. So that is Mini Mania Volume 1 by Gabby Wolf. Next up, I've got Neor Therapy. This is another colouring book by Diane Dufour, and this was also randomised by my wheel for this last month of October. And I coloured this Halloween costume party page. And when I saw Colouring with Amy, she did her completed pages for September. She coloured a page in this, and she said how much she'd loved colouring in this book and was enjoying colouring in it each month. So I reached out to her and said, would you like to colour a page with me? I was thinking about doing this one. I think that will be fun for Halloween. Do you want to do it with me? And she was like, absolutely. So thank you, Amy, for colouring this with me. I used Polychromos pencils for the whole page. But did I use Prismas for the background? No, it's all Polychromos. It's just quite waxy almost. Sometimes when I colour with the Polychromos, it can look like Prismacolors with that sort of wax bloomy finish, but that's just because I press kind of hard to get that sort of burnished effect. But with this page, I wanted to have the bears be different colours. I started with this guy, made him a neutral tone brown. I wanted to make this like a black bear with a slight brown undertone. This one's a more golden brown. And then, low-key, I did not notice this guy when I first started colouring the page. It wasn't until I coloured all these 3 bears that I was like, oh yeah, look, there's another one in the top. And I was like, well, I've kind of used 3 different shades of brown now, so I'll just make this one a darker brown than this one. So maybe they're brothers or siblings or something like that. But I knew I wanted to include purple on this page. I wasn't sure whether to do it for the background or for the carpet. I ended up going for the background and making the carpet a black, dark grey colour. There is a bit of variation in the ground. It's sort of this stripy kind of effect that I did, where I just did lines of black and then coloured the rest with the Payne's grey colour. Hasn't completely paid off, but I do like the pop of purple for the background colour. I will move mine to the side and show you Amy's. I love how hers turned out, and they look completely different from each other, which is always super fun about buddy colours. So thank you so much to Amy for colouring this page with me. Really enjoyed colouring in this book. Hadn't coloured in it for a while. Oh, I did 2 pages during the summer. I did the watermelon floaty and I did the lighthouse one. So it was nice to get one done that was more autumnal, because there aren't many autumnal pages in here. But that is Neor Therapy by Diane Dufour. I really want her to come out with a new colouring book. It's been about a year since this one came out and this was the latest one. I love her art style. Diane, if you're watching, do you have something new coming? I'd love to see it. Okay, next I've got RJ Hampson's Lost and Found. This is a project book with Dana from Dabbler D, and we are colouring a page in this each month together. I didn't get round to colouring September's page. It was the astronaut one. I just couldn't think of a colour scheme for it, and even looking at it now, I still have no idea how I would approach colouring this. Yeah, still something to think about. I don't know. I can't picture it coloured. I need to look up some more inspiration pictures online. But the way we've done it is she is colouring the light version of the image and I'm colouring the black background version to create a bit of variation. And it's been really fun seeing the differences between our 2 finished pages, both with the way we've coloured it and the differences in the line work. I picked this last page for October. It was the collector, and oh my gosh, this was a lot of fun to colour. I started with colouring the raccoon and the leaves, because I thought that was simple. And I thought I was going to really struggle colouring the objects on the shelves, because I tend to struggle with pages with lots of tiny little details, with lots of different colours, but I just started colouring and I really enjoyed it. And if you didn't realise, but this page contains a lot of objects that you previously saw in the book. So this snow globe here is the snow globe from the first page of the book. This one here, Paradise Lost. And the little dragon guy is here. So I coloured them pink to match mine. We've got this octopus guy. He's featured in, I think it's the Lost and Found office. With the, something looks like a post up here. Yeah, here he is. He's featured in the Lost and Found office. We've got a grasshopper here who is featured in the Bug Collector. We've got a jar of honey, where's a jar of honey featured in? I think it is this like opposites attract page. We've got, yeah, jar of honey there to go with the bee. All sorts of different objects, so it was fun going back and like seeing where each of the objects were located in and bringing some of those colours across. So with the dragon being pink and having this sort of terracotta pot, the colour scheme came together quite simply. I just did this pink, terracotta, grey, gold and brown. And I really love the finished effect of it. I used polychromos for this page. I've been really enjoying using it. as a challenge in this book. They don't layer very well on Amazon paper, but I like that you have this sort of sketchy, muted, like faded effect. I really like the effect in this book and for the pages. I'll move on across and show you Dana's here. Absolutely love how hers turned out. This raccoon guy was just the absolute cutest to colour. And she's a bit busy at the moment, so we are doing a catch-up month. And by we, I mean me, because I started this page months ago, lost some motivation for doing all these little critter characters. And I was actually looking at it after doing the collector page and thinking, I need to finish this one. Maybe I can do that next. And so this is the perfect month too. Just need to finish this off. I've done the majority of the image. It's just all the little character guys. So that's the one I'm doing next month. I also have the space one to finish still, but still unsure on a colour palette. That is Lost and Found by R.J. Hampson, project book with Dana. Then the next page I coloured was from Symphony of Cute Animals, and this was a buddy colour with Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. And for both of us, this was a long-term whip that we wanted to complete this year, and it was the Halloween party. And wow, let me tell you, this is so nice to finally have it completed. Before this year, all I had coloured was, I used a soft pastel for the background for all this grey stonework. I coloured the fox, I coloured the cat, I coloured the two ducks, I coloured this cat here, and the pumpkins, the candles, and I think the like mummy cloth stripes, and the bats. That was it. The bunny, everything on the table, the picture frame, the backgrounds of the sky, the squirrels, everything else was coloured, or the bunting was coloured this past month, and it was a mammoth task. This took so many hours. I wish I recorded down how many hours it actually took to complete, because it must have been, I don't know, 20 plus. But I love all the details. I love the limited colour palette. I wanted to keep it very Halloween-y, so I went for purple, greens and oranges. This guy I wanted coloured like Chucky. He does stand out a bit now, but I'm not mad at his costume. It's fine, it's dungarees and a striped shirt, whatever. He can stand out all he likes. But everything else is using the same sort of four colours with the orange, green, black and purple. And I added a lot of glitter gel pen to the spider webs in the corners and on the bunting for some fun accents. Zoe hasn't finished her page yet. She's still working really hard, but I will show a work in progress picture whilst I'm editing it. Hers is looking amazing. We both have put a lot of effort into this page, and this has to be one of my favourites from the month, from the year. I think when you put so much time and effort into a page, it definitely pays off in terms of how much you like the finished result. That is Symphony of Cute Animals, a long-term whip I finally got completed. So thank you so much, Zoe, for inspiring me to complete this. This is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Agusa. Then I definitely needed something simpler to colour, so I got out 50 Mythical Miniatures, because Melissa from Winter 89 Colours has started a group buddy project book for this. The goal is to complete it for next year. I don't think I will, because I will definitely get behind, but I'd like to get as many as I can done. And for the first month, I believe the pages were the mermaid one, because that was the only one she had coloured so far. I also have already coloured that, so I didn't need to catch up with that one. And the title page, which is the one I did. And this was very quick and simple to colour. I just used alcohol markers, and I actually used a Crayola Super Tip for the olives, as I don't have olive greens, but I just did sort of coloured with one colour and went over the outline with a darker colour to create the shaded effect. I wanted to make these look like hibiscus flowers with sort of the pink going into the yellow, Not the most effective, but don't hate it. Now it's fully coloured. I really did dislike it when I first coloured it and everything else was blank, but now everything's been coloured around it. It looks okay. I also decided to add some gold metallic gel pen around the letters. Just thought that was a bit of fun. And yeah, first it's a title page done for this book. I have done a few others. I have my tracker at the back. Oh, I need to update this. I have done one more. I don't know how to track doing these pages at the start because we have the title page and the book belongs to page, which aren't included in the 50 mythical miniatures, whatever miniatures. So I'm thinking of maybe doing 2 extra boxes down the bottom and do like a T and a B for title page, book belongs to page, and colouring those in, because otherwise it looks weird that I've got 3 coloured in here, but I've done 4 pages, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I'll show you the other ones I've got done. I've done the basilisk. I think that was for a prompt by Yolanda. I did the unicorn, and I've done the mermaid, as I showed you. I need to double check what pages she's picked out. I think she picks out 4 for each month. Again, not sure if I'll get all of them done, but I'd like to do as much as I can to get close to this book being completed. That is 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cover. Next up, I've got Petty Poe by Hatchet Heroes. This is illustrated by... Who is it illustrated by? Capucine Sauvignon. And this is, or I should say now was, a project book with Christine from St. Colours. And we have decided to stop doing this as a monthly project book, as we'd like to colour in some different things. We'll still do better colours together, just not in this book every month. Christine doesn't colour as many pages in a month, and she was feeling a bit limited with her choices. And I was personally getting a bit tired of colouring these each month. I was struggling a little bit. But the page we did for October was the Cinderella page. As you've got the pumpkins, I thought it was the perfect October page. And I really did enjoy colouring this. I based it with alcohol markers, shaded Cinderella, the pumpkins and the vines with Prismacolor pencils, and just used a dark blue alcohol marker for the background. It looked super streaky and rubbish when I first did it. Left it for a day, went over it again with the same alcohol marker, and it did help smooth it out. And I added lots of little stars to distract you from the patchiness. But it kind of looks like a galaxy sky almost now. I also added a lot of white paint pen to create these sort of see-through effects with the glass slipper, her white fabric, and this sort of lots of dots on it to create this sort of sequin effect. Really like how this turned out. And I will move mine across, show you Christine's here. She did a gorgeous job. I love what she did with the background. She whited out the vines and the pumpkins and it looked beautiful. Love what she did. But thank you, Christine, for colouring this with me, and thank you for all the buddy colours we've done in this book. I think it would have been, 6, 7 that we've done? She's done a few more than me because I got behind. But it's nice having quite a few pages done in one book, and this isn't the end. I will colour in this again, just taking a bit of a break. That is Disney's Petty Poe. Okay, we're almost at the end, guys. Now we have Matchstick Mouse, A Rainy Day colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. This was a buddy colour with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours. And we did the teacup bath page, and this is my first page coloured in this book, so I needed to come up with I wanted to come up with a new colour scheme for Matchstick Mouse. So for this one I based her with a warm grey alcohol marker and shaded over the top with Prismacolor pencils, as even though they're expensive pencils, I really like how they work on Amazon paper, so that's what I use. I use them how I like them, and I only do a little bit of shading on these. I let the alcohol markers do most of the work. But I was quite unsure what to do for colour scheme on this page. The only idea I had was a yellow teacup, and I don't know why, but when I saw it, I wanted a yellow. And I just went for it. I coloured the teacup yellow, added some sort of orangey pink tones for the flowers, and then I was pretty much done. So this was more intimidating than I thought it was. Really happy to get my first page done in this book. I'll move mine across and show you Nikki's here. She went for totally different colours. I love all the bright tones. Thank you for the buddy colour and getting me started in this Morgan O'Brien book, Matchstick Mouse, A Rainy Day. Then I've got A Million Little Monsters. This was the last page I coloured in the month. I wanted to get it done for Halloween, and I did. And it was the Poodle and Pumpkins page. This was a buddy colour with Steph Louise Argyle. We often pick a page from a Lulu Mayo book that goes for my scavenger hunt prompts. This went for the prompt pumpkin. And I saved the colours that I used on this page to copy across to this page with the pink, purple, blue and orange. And I just sort of spread the colours out over the page, used lots of white pen highlights, did the same sort of effect on the ghosts as I did here, where I coloured around with the pencil, shaded it out with a white pencil and went over the edge with a glitter gel pen to make it really fun. So that was a page from a Lulu Mayo book. I haven't coloured in Lulu Mayo for I think a month now, so it was good to get another one done by her. I don't think Steph quite finished her page, but I look forward to seeing her soon. And thank you for motivating me to get this page finished, as I really wanted to have these two as a matching page spread. So that's A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. Then I have a few Disney Colour by Number books. I hadn't coloured in this portraits book for a while, and I decided to do this Aurora page. I just used alcohol markers for this, as it is single-sided. Really like how it turned out. It was a nice, easy, relaxing page to colour. That is the portraits. This is the square book. Then I did one in nature, and it was this goofy jumping in a pile of leaves page. I think Zoe was colouring a autumn leaves page in one of her books, I think the Seasons one, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I don't have that book. Let's see if I can find something similar in this book, because there's quite a few autumnal themed pages in nature. So I did this one. Absolutely love it. Love all the orangey tones, and colouring these leaves took forever. I want to say that took like an hour to do just that one thing, but it does look really effective. That is Disney Nature. Then Disney Vitro Colour by Numbers. I did a couple in here. This Cinderella one was a buddy colour with Zoe. I don't think she got round to colouring this, but we wanted to do it because of the pumpkins and the season. Love that one. And this was also a buddy colour with Zoe. This we did to sort of celebrate. I recently got her this book as some happy mail, and we picked out this page of Thumper in the Leaves. Love the colours, and it's always great to have two pages next to each other completed. Oh, let me put mine across and show you Zoe's there. She used paint pens for hers. I always use water-based markers, a variety of different types. But I love how hers turned out. And hers looks so bright. Oh, why do I keep saying bright and bold? Bright and bold and beautiful. That is Vitro. And then I have Les Grands Classiques Tome 11. And I like to do a double page in here each month. And this month I did this one, the Rescuers double page spread. And this took 3 weeks of working on it. I think I did 1 week I did the outlining. 1 week I did, no, 4 weeks working on it. 1 week I did the outlining. 1 week I did the backgrounds. 1 week I did the mice, and then next week I did the bird. And I've been doing this whilst watching Strictly, as it's good to have with that on the background. Really enjoyed colouring this. Love having these double page spreads done in the book. And I think next I want to do the Alice in Wonderland one for Megan's film for the month. It is Alice in Wonderland. So I want to do this double page spread. It's going to take a while, but it's going to look amazing. So that's Les Grands Classiques, tome 11. And then the final book I have to show you is, of course, Lonely Pumpkin Had a Great Fall. I am going to go through this quickly. I won't talk about the details of each page because I do have a video where I go through each of the pages in detail and talk about my thoughts and process for it. I will just show them to you in here. I did 14 pages in this book this last month for my colouring series. I did this for day 9. This was Frog Wizards. I did this one, What Will Come of This, for day 5. Really like the limited colour palette there. For day 8, I did Tea for One. She looks so scared and sad. For day 10, I did New Friend, where Lonely Pumpkin meets the dog Boo for the first time. Should have tabbed these. For day 2, I did Fishbones. For day 3, I did Best Friends, a bit of a simpler one. Day 6, I did Night Flight. Day 4, I did Autumn Leaves. Day 11, I did Bath by the Fire. This I did last month. Day 7, I did Bats. Day 1, I did Pumpkin Harvest. Yep, that's what it's called. Day 12, I did Through the Woods. Day 13, I did Trick or Treat. And the final page, which was the bonus, I did Happy Halloween. So thank you for your support, for watching the shorts that I made. If you haven't checked out the compilation video, I will have it linked in the description below. Let me know what you think of the pages. I think my favourite that I did from the month, it's hard to choose. I really love Through the Woods. What's the other one that I really enjoyed? And Bath by the Fire. I like the limited colour palettes of them, so I think it's between those two as my favourite. But there we have it. Those are all of the completed pages I had for November 2024. Do let me know down in the comments below which was your favourite. Let me know 2 favourites. Your favourite from Lonely Pumpkin and your favourite from the rest of the pages. For the rest of the pages, my favourite has to be the double page Halloween party spread. Just because it took so long. It looks so lovely, finished and complete. But let me know, do you have a different favourite? I would love to hear. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. This was a long one. Lots of pages that I coloured. And I'm looking forward to another month of lots of colouring. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.